relationship better and group of Twitter.
Divya, there's a poem in Hindi.
ठीक है यार वो बोरिंग हो गई पता है
देखो मेहनत करते हैं
Okay, I'm creating the poem for Malaysia, which Gemini has not Gemini has. Okay, Mona Lisa, a vision, a dream, a fashion queen, a teleportation queen on the creator island, her kingdom right, feline friend. So I'm so sorry at creating, but I think I should rather display it on the display so you guys can actually take a look over it. If you, yeah, maybe you do it.
I'm in the YouTube event right now.
आ जाओ यार मोनालिसा ओके Mona Lisa, a vision, a dream, a fashion queen, a teleportation gleam. On Creator's Isle, her kingdom's bright, a feline friend, a purring delight. बहुत भारी इंग्लिश शब्द हैं इसमें. With a flick of wrist, worlds she'll explore from bustling cities to tranquil shore. In every realm, her style supreme, a fashion icon, a sartorial dream. A whisper of silk, a shimmer of lace. मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है मैं इंग्लिश की कोई क्लास ले रहा हूँ. A whisper of silk, a shimmer of lace. Her every look a work of grace. With a confident stride and a knowing smile, she captivates hearts mile after mile. Let's celebrate Mona Lisa's flair, a teleporter, a trendsetter beyond compare. On her Creator's Isle, her legend grows, a fashion queen wherever she goes. Give it up for Mona Lisa.
Whoa!
So, अगर किसी को आर्टिकुलेशन में प्रॉब्लम होती है या लगता है कि वो ढंग से उसके पास विचार तो बड़े अच्छे हैं लेकिन वो एक्सप्रेस नहीं कर पाता सही शब्दों में, तो जेमिनाई के बहुत अच्छे शब्द हैं ये जो जिसमें आप एक्सप्लोर कर सकते हो. तो अभी अपनी पोएम्स सब तैयार रखो. वी विल कम टू योर पोएम्स लेटर. अभी थोड़ा सा टाइम का शॉर्टेज है बट वी विल गो थ्रू योर पोएम्स आफ्टर दिस, है ना. तो अब जो अगला क्रिएटर है ना वो तो किंग है यार. मतलब कितने मिलियन सब्सक्राइबर्स हैं.
47 मिलियन रोज बदलते हैं, मिलियन तो रोज बढ़ जाता है.
अपना नाम कमाने की कोशिश की कि मैं इसमें अपना बेस्ट देता हूँ. बाकी सब रिवेन्यू के लिए मैंने सोचा नहीं कि यहाँ से इतना रिवेन्यू आएगा, इससे इतना आता है, लॉन्ग फॉर्म पे आ जाओ. मैंने कुछ भी नहीं सोचा रिवेन्यू के लिए. मैंने सोचा क्यों ना पहले एक बार शॉर्ट्स में अपनी एक्सपर्टीज ले आता हूँ क्योंकि मैं शॉर्ट्स जितनी देख कर सीख रहा हूँ मैं अपने कंटेंट में वेरिएशन लेके आता हूँ कि जरूरी नहीं है मैं कॉमेडी में रहूँ, मैं ट्रैवल ब्लॉगिंग सब कुछ करूँ. तो मैंने बहुत कुछ सीखा और 8 महीनों में मेरे 10 मिलियन सब्सक्राइबर्स हो गए थे. मैं वीडियोस बनाता था मेरी बहन प्रियल कुकरेजा के साथ जो वहाँ पीछे बैठी है, उसके भी 40 मिलियन सब्सक्राइबर्स हो गए. तो हम दोनों के अलग अलग सेपरेट चैनल हैं. तो हम डेडिकेटेड, हम यहाँ तक पहुँचे अपने टैलेंट की वजह से नहीं, ओनली नहीं, हम अपने हार्डवर्क की वजह से. जो हम डेली एक वीडियो बनाते हैं चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए, चाहे आप बीमार हो बीमारी में वीडियो बना दो. तो गूगल जेमिनाई के बारे में ये बोलना चाहता हूँ कि जब मैंने अपना YouTube स्टार्ट किया था तब मुझे प्रॉब्लम आई थी थंबनेल क्रिएशन में और अल्टरनेटिव चैनल खोलने की प्लानिंग थी कि मुझे थंबनेल्स के लिए एक एडिटर चाहिए होता है. एडिटर के लिए मेरे को कहीं कुछ ऐसा होता है कि मेरे को एडिटिंग पसंद नहीं आती, थंबनेल के लिए बार बार चेंज कराना पड़ता है. तो गूगल जेमिनाई जो हमें हेल्प कर सकता है थंबनेल जनरेशन में. जैसे मैंने अपना एक गेमिंग चैनल खोला है तो उसमें मेरे को एक एडवांटेज लगी कि मेरा टाइम सेव हो सकता है कि मेरे को यहाँ से एक थंबनेल जल्दी की जल्दी मिल जाएगा क्योंकि मैं क्विक हूँ. मतलब जब एक बंदा शॉर्ट्स बनाता है ना वो जल्दी एक्सपेक्ट करता है फटाफट हो जाए. हम 15 मिनट में शॉर्ट बना देते हैं, सोचने में थोड़ा 2 घंटे लग जाते हैं लेकिन 15-20 मिनट में शॉर्ट बन जाती है. एडिटिंग के लिए हमें
Hello guys, I'm at the YouTube creators event. कैसे हो आप सब?
शॉर्ट्स की स्क्रिप्ट्स की ले लो, लॉन्ग वीडियोस की स्क्रिप्ट्स की ले लो. हम कहीं जा रहे हैं, हम सोचते हैं कि यार यहाँ पे ये रिसोर्सेज हैं, हम इनको लेके क्या वीडियोस बना सकते हैं. मेरे पास एक बॉक्स पड़ा है, मेरे पास एक स्पीकर है, मेरे पास एक माइक है. तो गूगल जेमिनाई से मैं पूछ सकता हूँ कि यार मैं क्या बना सकता हूँ, मेरे को फटाफट क्विक आंसर दो. लैंग्वेजेस की बात कर. थैंक यू.
Thank you so much, thanks a lot and thank you. मतलब हम लोग वहाँ पे पीछे वहाँ पे थे और हम लोग बात कर रहे थे 2 लाख सब्सक्राइबर्स, 3 लाख सब्सक्राइबर्स, मतलब कुछ है ही नहीं, मतलब नॉट अ बिग डील, राइट? So yes, thank you so much for joining us here today. Moving ahead everyone, And now we have a very engaging workshop led by Achina Maya, co-founder of AEOS, who will another thing like crypto, this, that will go away. But once I started using it, once I started spending time with these tools, I was like, holy shit, the amount of work that you can get done in less than an hour is insane. What AI is really good at is essentially something called high order thinking skills. That is, you can think of AI as your smartest employee or as your co-founder or whatever role you wanted to play. I feel like AI has slightly bad PR where people feel like, yo, AI is just for tech nerds. No, what we have realized from running all of these channels for all of these companies, we have our own channels, which are around 7 of them that we run across YouTube and Instagram. I feel like AI's best use right now is content creation. So AI literally can be every creator's superpower. It is ours. That's a picture there, and there's a small story behind it. So I used to do a lot of 3D design. When I was into graphic design, I also picked up 3D. That's me. That's a 3D model that I created, and it took me 1 month to create. Like literally 1 month, because you have to make the whole thing, you have to rig it. It's a very complex process. But if you look at AI models now, they can generate these 3D designs in less than a minute. So the way it's progressing, it's absolutely insane. AI tools are literally a content creator's dream. They are way more accessible, so easy to use. It's your cheapest, smartest, most stylish team member. How many of you have hired people here? How many of you have more than one team members in your teams? Yeah, I'm sure you guys must have your script writers, you guys must have people who are helping you ideate, video editors. AI is useful for every single one of these use cases, and honestly, you can think of whatever tool you're using, you can think of AI as the smartest person on your team. The most important thing though, it can understand and store large amount of context, and it can keep producing output without getting tired, without asking for leaves, without being like, nahi, kal main office nahi aa raha. You can give it 100 prompts and it will reply to you and it will give you the best outputs possible. Okay, now let's get to the workshop part. Ideating and writing with AI. We have a team of around 250 people now. From that, 100 are editors. Only 10 to 15 are writers. Each writer is able to write for multiple channels using Gemini, using these AI tools. And let me just show you the way we use these tools. The most important thing when it comes to using a tool is building habituality. What I mean by that is, usually what happens is, you will open Gemini and you will write like one line and you will be like, "Acha, mere ko ye prompt do, this is what I want from you. I want to generate a script, write the script, and it will respond to you." But the best way to get good at using these tools is spending time with them and communicating with them the way you are comfortable with. Basically, the first question that all of you need to answer is, when you're talking to WhatsApp on your friends, your parents, what is your mode of communication? Are you writing long messages? Are you sending voice notes? Are you sending images? What is the mode of communication you are comfortable with? If you're a person who talks a lot, who finds talking easier, then you have to communicate with Gemini using voice. If you're a person who's comfortable with just uploading screenshots, communicate with Gemini using images. If you're somebody who writes long ass messages when you're fighting with people, then you are somebody who needs to use text. But you need to understand that what is the mode of communication you are comfortable with. Only then is when you
Hello
use
Shivam, कैसे हो?
to your advantage. Honestly, I have taught
Live
my
देख लो,
house
तुम
help
आए हो?
how to use Gemini, and she just talks to it in Hindi. She just talks to it whatever language she's comfortable in. Bihari, she talks in Hindi, and she's able to get the best recipes just because it's so user friendly. So first step, identify what is the easiest way, what you are comfortable with, and start using it with that form.
researching with AI. So I use Notebook LM a lot when it comes to researching with AI. I will come back to this later and I will tell you how this is very, very valuable, especially for long form content and people who are doing research heavy content. But first, let me show you the best prompt. So sometimes when you are struggling with prompts, you can literally ask Gemini only कि भाई मेरे को ये चाहिए, मेरे को ऐसे ऐसे ये लिखना है. So can you help me out? Can you tell me what all should my prompt include? And it will do a fantastic job there as well. Like you can literally use Gemini to get better at Gemini. That's how useful these tools are. Now generating ideas. That's a small prompt. Usually my prompts are much longer because I find voice recordings very easy. So I just talk to it and I'll be like, "Mereko ye chahiye, this is what I want," and it'll be like literally a 5-minute rant about whatever the hell it is, and that's exactly what I want you guys to start doing as well. For example, this was the second prompt which I gave. Where I said I wanted to generate creative ideas and short form scripts for YouTube shorts 20 to 30 seconds long centered around India's biggest underdog unicorns and their incredible rise to 1 billion. Basically companies who have become unicorns, who started from nothing and now who've made it big. And it gave me these ideas. The chai wala who brewed $1 billion empire, the grocery delivery Goliath, from dorm room to unicorn room. If I don't like what it gives me, I always respond and I'm always like, no, this is not good enough. I need more ideas. And can you make these ideas around this specific thing? And it'll give you, again, it'll recalibrate the images. You can also just go a step further and be like, hey Gemini, can you just generate an image, a reference that I can give to my editor, that this editor can copy? It can do that as well. Now, let's go a step deeper. A lot of you already create content and you want this AI to sound like you. All you need to do is take all your old scripts, whether it's short form scripts, long form scripts, feed it into a Google document. If you feed it into a Google document, upload it on Gemini, like I said, context is everything, and you tell Gemini ki, this is what I sound like, this is my audience, this is how I talk. Can you emulate my voice? It'll do a fantastic job. For example, the script that we saw before, I saw this one creator, she's pretty big on YouTube, Malvika Sitlani. So I was like, this is how she talks. I fed it some data, I gave it some context, Google Doc pe dal ke thodi script. So I was like, can you emulate her voice? And it wrote it literally in her voice. Like I don't talk like this. So here's the tea, this deep green blazer, total boss move, is giving earthy, warm vibes that scream, I mean business, but I'm also effortlessly stylish. And I read the whole script. What it does is, everybody has these few terms or few specific words that they use, and it can be whatever language you're comfortable in. Whether you're creating content in Punjabi, whether you're creating content in Hindi, feed it the script in Hindi and it'll pick up those words. It'll know what your tonality is like. It'll know whether you use long sentences, short sentences, but you need to feed it enough context. If you're just feeding it those two scripts and being like, hey, sound like me, it won't work. Just like your intern or your script writer, if you're not giving them enough data, they will not know how to write like you. Similarly, it has the old context saved. Let's say you had a fight with your boyfriend or girlfriend 5 days later. You can go back to Gems, it'll have history of all your fights, and you can be like, hey, this happened today. He said this, I said this, whose fault is it? And it'll literally it'll be able to point out your patterns, or if you are the one who's continuously getting, who's creating trouble here, or if it's somebody else. You can also again use it as a script writer, you can use it as whatever you want. If you want it to be your cook or somebody who tracks your daily calories, you can say, you're my trainer and my nutritionist, I'm going to put in my calories here. It'll save all the context over the days, and every time you go back to it, it'll have all that information stored there. So gems are very useful when you are talking to some specific persona, and again, you can go back to it over days and days and days. It'll have all your history. Now, talking to AI, I know I've been already talking about talking to AI, but let's break it down a little more, because we want to make sure that we are getting the best out of whatever we say to Gemini. Like I said, think about it. as an intern who you are upskilling to whatever role you need it to be, whether it's your writer, whether it's somebody helping you with ideation, whatever that role.
Authenticity. So let's welcome Wagmita Singh over here with a huge, huge round of applause. Everyone, come on. Here we go.
Come on, guys.
Put your hands together. Come on, everyone.
Thank you. My name is Vagmita, which you all will find very hard to pronounce. That would help me to research, it helped me actually elucidate complex thoughts. My Gemini history looks something like this. How to एक second, ये क्या हो रहा है? Chitter pitter. Thank you. So this is what my Gemini history looks like. It's very interesting. The first one is how to confront my boyfriend about not sending me flowers. How to politely respond to Buaji when she asks me when I'm settling down without asking her when her son is getting a blowjob. Recipe for sugar-free Nutella milkshake and how to not look like an idiot during public speaking. Sorry, last ignore that. In short, मैं Gemini को अपने सारे कलेश सुनाती हूँ and it has great attention span. You know, unlike my boyfriend, it listens to everything. So I love Gemini because I'm a youngest child, so I'm used to lots and lots of attention. I'm also a Leo. I want to ask Google employees here कि Gemini की कोई trauma absorb करने की limit है? बहुत करता है वो मेरा trauma absorb. So just wanted to know. और मेरी एक दोस्त मुझसे कहती है यहाँ पे एक सज्जन बैठे थे उन्होंने बोला यार हम ओवरटेक ले रहा मेरी फ्रेंड भी बोलती है don't you think that Gemini will copy your content and then become better than you? I was like Gemini के parents मारवाड़ी नहीं है और उसके पास childhood trauma नहीं है so no I think I'm safe. And funniest thing is that actually the best thing about Gemini is that you can train it, unlike a man, you can train it really well. Because I was ranting to Gemini for some context for my new YouTube video, and Gemini was like, hey, you look really stressed out, you need help, मैं content बना रही हूँ, मैं सुन ले रही हूँ. And another time, sometime after that, I was actually very seriously asking Gemini कि मेरे boyfriend ने मेरे को फोन नहीं भेजा तो अब मैं क्या करूँ?